যদি সবাই ফিরে যায়, ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা সবাই ফিরে যায়, যদি গহন পথে যাওয়ার কালে কেউ ফিরে না যায়, তবে পথের কাটা তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে, তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। যদি আলো না ধরে, ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা আলো না ধরে, যদি ঝড় বাদলে আধার রাতে দুয়ার দেয় ঘরে, তবে বজ্রানলে আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে, আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো রে।
Hi guys, thank you for joining the live stream. Today I am late for a very very valid reason, so I will apologize but with a pinch of salt because Madan Mitra left Trinamool today. Oh my god. No, please, I want to keep that on my screen. Okay guys. So, this is a beautiful magnetic sticker that my sort of bro who is doing a PhD in Philadelphia got me from the Smithsonian Museum. It says failure is not an option, and I don't have any place to put up my magnetic stickers. I don't have a steel almirah in my room here, which is the usual spot to put up all your magnetic stickers, or a fridge. But I want to keep this in my room, and he has gifted me 2 more, which I can't keep anywhere. So I was thinking, let's put them up here, but they keep falling. And I think the image is reversed, right? Yeah, so I wonder if it's reversed or not. Can you all read it, or is it a mirror image? So anyway, Madan Mitra left Trinamool today, left the Mamata faction and joined the Ritobroto faction. So we will all be drinking some Trinamool tears, I think. Take up your can. And the camera is not fine. Let me just make it more fine. Yeah. And I did not pay much heed to that news, but I thought, well, okay, so many people are leaving from Trinamool. Yeah, people as close to Mamata as Madan is, they have also left Trinamool. So, okay, who cares? I was bothering with some other stuff. I was following some other news, preparing for this live stream. And then, like half an hour back, my mom texts me saying that Madan Mitra is on ABP. So I had to watch that. And I was watching that only. And he was giving away all juicy answers about why he left Trinamool, his grievances against the party, or rather Abhishek. Mainly the script, you all know. Abhishek is the worst thing to have happened to humanity. That's why Trinamool is in the dogs. We all left Trinamool because of Abhishek. We all know there are legitimate grievances for people like Madan and Shubhendu to have against Abhishek, but that's not an issue really. If Trinamool had won, they would have had no problems with Abhishek. And we know Madan Mitra has had some problems with Abhishek because of the IPAC stuff. Madan Mitra used to hate the IPAC. Back then, when Madan Mitra used to hate IPAC, Mamata used to also hate IPAC. She called it PAC. She made fun of it. So we know all that history. Now, what's interesting for me is how he's also going about the same script that, yeah, Mamata is good, Abhishek is bad, Trinamool is good, BJP is bad, but we are all now protesting against Abhishek, and we hate him for essentially drowning the party, drowning the state of West Bengal, setting everything ablaze. Every bad thing that you can think of today in West Bengal was started by Abhishek Banerjee, who practically joined politics in 2014, really. And Trinamool was already in power for 3 years before that. And Subrata Mukherjee, Madan Mitra have said in closed circles, are said to have said so in closed circles by 2012, 2013 itself. 2013, before Abhishek became significant, that what the fuck is Mamata doing? That's not how you run the state. How can this state go on? This is I mean, the state will go to dogs. She will fuck the state. I'm practically paraphrasing and translating in my own way of what some of these kind of significant Trinamool people said in 2010, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Then 14 onwards, Abhishek comes and apparently does all the bad things inside Trinamool and in the state. And all of these significant faces are just sitting ducks who have to accept it. And the reason I like Madan Mitra's interview today, which is still going on in ABP Anando, and Shuman is actually making him face other Trinamool people who are still in Mamata's faction inside the studio. So it's crazy shit. I would absolutely suggest you all to stop watching my live stream and go watch that. But it's all hot shit. We are analyzing the real shit. So maybe stay on with me. Not mirrored, no? Okay, great. Obviously just living away. What the fuck else are they supposed to do? That's their daily bread and butter. They wake up thinking about doing this. At the end of the day, at the end of the month, they get salaries from the American taxpayers for doing this. What else will they do? They are always up for it. Luckily, I can see the fingerprints much more closely and more obviously and more clearly than I could even of like 5-10 years back. There's been a whole lot of public awakening, awareness, knowledge production about these things. That's the achievement of the Indian right wing. And this right wing does not mean Hindutvadis or even BJP supporters. These are the forever nationalist hawks who have created this discourse and have successfully made this discourse mainstream about how much India is always at threat from deep state type of entities. Okay. So, and those fucking hawks, absolute nationalist hawks, are running and looking after the country's security. Okay. Cyber as well as warfare and stuff. Whatever is possible within their capabilities, I believe they are doing. And whatever screw ups that you see, they are either simply screw ups because everybody screws up, or it's some way or the others in every battle someone or the other will always win. So in some certain occasions the other side is winning. And the third option is that yes, at any given project someone might have turned out to be corrupt who made this fuck up happen. Like just today, an hour back, Shuman Chattopadhyay, our favorite Bengali journalist, did a live stream. I didn't even know about that. I've still not heard of it from anywhere else, only from his news, that Ernakulam power plant run by Anil Ambani, there has been a massive data breach from that power plant, and info regarding it or surrounding it, or data that they had collected, info about that power plant has been leaked on the dark web. And apparently the people who leaked it had threatened Tatas as well. They said fuck off. They had asked for 15 lakh rupees. All this I'm getting from Shuman Chattopadhyay's reportage, which he got from Reuters like 1 or 2 hours back. Okay. And this data breach that has happened in the Ernakulam power plant, I'm wondering if I should even be bothered about it much. On the other hand, if in fact it's a huge screw up, then also the reaction from the government would be the same. So I'm not basing my conclusions on this on the vibes I'm getting from the government, but I just have faith that we have the best of us and the most hawkish nationalists of us amongst us, the most educated ones, the most high IQ ones in the MEA, IB, RAW, who are the best of us. So if you want even better results, you'll have to give birth to more intelligent children and make sure their education is not affected by Indian education, etc. Okay. Now something big is coming in monsoon session. A lot of big things are coming up in the monsoon session. Why else is BJP so creepily, hurriedly obsessed with the Rajya Sabha seats? Because that's what I was saying, that I am fully in favor. I'm so mixing up all the topics, but that's the freedom I wanted to. That's why I haven't invited the Vanguard bros or haven't shared the membership links, because actually I need to end today's live stream by 11 because somebody important told me to call him up at night. So I'm not going to make it 12 or 1 in the night. I'm going to call him up by 11:30 or 12. That's why, since I need all the limelight today, that's why I did not invite them. But this gives me the freedom to mix everything the fuck up. So that is one of the core topics today, that I am absolutely in favor of filling up BJP with Trinamoolies all around. I want Abhishek Banerjee, Mamata to also join Trinamool because they get treated as POWs You run according to the whims and fancies of Shubhendu Adhikari. That's your duty as POW. And that is what they are doing. My only problem is with those three Rajya Sabha people, bhai. What did they do to achieve another Rajya Sabha seat or earn it? I mean, at best you could say that yes, they resigned their existing Rajya Sabha seat and then kind of gave you the vibe that yeah, we are kind of with you. We are open to being with you. We don't really like these Trinamooli people and Shushmita Dev. Nobody is even heard of. I had not heard of Shushmita Dev until she quit her Rajya Sabha seat. I thought, who who is this? Oh, then I realized she's from Assam actually. Then I thought, okay, maybe therefore it makes sense that I don't know her. But then they quit their Rajya Sabha seat and then they get another Rajya Sabha seat. They become BJP's nominees. That's a step too far. I think they should have been betrayed, but and BJP, Trinamool, all these politicians betray people enough. But just three Rajya Sabha seats, quitting that should not earn you this much if you are a POW and you deserve to be treated like a POW. The argument here could be that maybe those three particular people of Trinamool do not deserve to be treated like POWs because they literally come under the definition of BhALo Trinamool in some ways because they were not going door to door doing all the gundagardi, hafta vasuli and stuff. But the reward is too fucking high. And if the reward is too high, these people are better off being POWs than being with Mamata. What the hell? That creates a huge problematic incentive structure. Then, since you are better off being a POW, then Mamata gets all the cream of the crop. All the genuinely good people who are still, let's say, believe in the Brahmo Samaji view of Hinduism, hate Hindutva, Hindutvadis, BJP, RSS, etc. But also remember what CPIM used to do to them. Okay, they remember their college days at the hands of SFI, etc. But they all are the Trinamulis who got sidelined for kind of complaining within the party about people like the Gundas and the Hapta Vasuli people. These are the people who stopped going to 21st July Martyrs Day celebrations, Martyrs Day morning event that Mamata does every 21st July, remembering the 11 Youth Congress workers who got shot by the Kolkata police, allegedly at the orders of their future Trinamool MLA from 2011. That's the most hilarious thing to have happened in Bengal politics ever. Manish Gupta. Yeah, God, yeah. I'm very bad at promoting my stuff. This is a mug that I designed myself, and I intend to sell them as merchandise. But since nobody gets to see what the fuck is written here, nobody much talks about it. Only some people have talked about it. I have sent delivered two mugs to two of my viewers. The problem is the website where I do it, they don't let you do the same color twice. So I am having to just come up with new color combinations for everybody, which means every cup that you order from me is a limited fucking edition, guys. এবার বিজেপিকে রোস্ট করা শুরু করো. God Empire, I understand that intuition or that ichha is the perfect word, but that desire to roast BJP for the sake of it. But I can never do things for the sake of it just because I'm a little too old for that. You bet if I was 25 I would be doing that simply because they are in power. But I see Shuman Chattopadhyay doing it occasionally on some days, criticizing them for absolutely for the most made up, insane, hilarious, pointless, negligible issues. But that's because he does this daily. So it's sort of a chip on his shoulder that he has to produce some content every day, 2 to 3 live streams every day. He writes up the entire script beforehand. That's when you do hot shit like that some of his criticisms are absolutely fucking pointless. So I still will roast BJP when I see them doing hilarious things, and I will appreciate their actions when I see fit. Like with the BhALo Trinamool is getting into BJP thing. I have no qualms with central BJP, Shubhendu, Shamik Bhattacharya making these Trinamooli POWs dance at their whims and stuff. But if the reward is too high, it's not worth it. And so I think what they did with the Rajya Sabha seats with these three people, that's an absolute fuck up. The other thing is giving off the vibe to the people who don't like BJP, who have not voted for BJP in 2026, and even those who have voted for BJP but are right now disappointed with them because of the hawker stuff, etc. Maybe because they are hawkers themselves, or know somebody in the family who's a hawker, or simply have sympathy for hawkers because they are the P word in India, guys. They are poor. दे आर पुअर, गरीब है, गरीब लोगों के लिए उनके मन में जो कष्ट है, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट they will be thirsty for an opposition. And assuming these people hate Trinamool, know the problems with Trinamool, they have faced the brunt of Trinamul's rule for all these years. They are looking for some just good people to associate with. There is CPIM for them already. And the rumor around, no, that rumor would be too much to, I think, claim. But anyway, there are allegedly rumors going on. No, the rumors are going on that there's allegedly some connections and liaison happening between a fundamentalist party in Bangladesh and a party which is politically insignificant in West Bengal, but is narratively significant. And I confirmed from 2-3 independent but trusted people in these things, know-how of these things, and all of them confirmed to me, yes, it's true, it's happening. Now, again, to be relaxed, the most significant person that I asked about this, he actually didn't even give a shit. He said, "Oh, is that so? Is that what you're hearing? That's good for us. Then maybe we'll find out a way to get info from that fundamentalist party, because we have people in there as well, in that Indian non-significant party." So it is what it is. But my only fear is that those opposition people should not find a home in Trinamool, where there are now going to be nice people to vibe with, because all these are young kids who have a passionate cult following for Mamata. And I would make an issue and fuss about them being cult followers, etc. But now I'm seeing that it's so common with Sheikh Hasina, with Modi's cult following is practically gone. I don't know who's in the Modi cult anymore. But Trump cult is gone. But there is a lot of it in the South regarding some particular leaders. But it's mostly around Sheikh Hasina and Mamata, because it makes no sense today. And even then, it exists. That's what shows you the strength of that cultism in the cult phenomenon in these situations. But these kids who are today associating with Mamata, who are very excited about it as well, because they would never get to hog this limelight if Trinamool was in power. They would again be behind all the people, all the corrupt gunda, or the corrupt gunda adjacent Trinamulis in the front row, etc. So these are people are very happy. They get to hang out with Mamata and Abhishek Da all day, and the news is covering you, and the BJP people are attacking you with eggs. At best, dragging someone down from a bike being ridden by a woman, and then having 3 kicks thrown at you, which I'm sure is very traumatizing and devastating for that man. I'm sure he has no skeletons in his closet, nor in his backyard. But assuming that it was the most unfair thing to have happened in Bengal history, that guy getting pulled away from that girl's bike. What's the girl's name? Upasana, yeah. But that guy is a hero. Upasana is a hero. Nilanjan, oh yeah, he's not going to be a hero anytime soon anymore. So all these heroes who actually do not have any corruption stuff against them, because they were simply too late to the party, or too early to the party actually. They were simply born too late. They were not old enough to be corrupt. And they were about to be. If Trinamool had come to power, all these kids today would be one of those corrupt asshole gundas or mawalis or hapta vasuli people of Trinamool, but they are not right now. And that's what can create a sympathy in the hearts of those people who are looking for a breath of fresh air away from BJP. My just hunch is that in the end, by 2026, all these people will vote for BJP again, because BJP will make it up to them. My hunch is a lot of these hawkers shops will be back. Not all of them will be, I think, gone forever. And if they are gone forever, they'll get other shop places somewhere else. If that doesn't run well, they'll sell it to someone else and go shift somewhere else, because free ka dukan to mil gaya. So in the end, I think they will vote for BJP. But if they vote for Trinamool, it doesn't matter. If they vote for Trinamool, Rito Broto and Mamata, then it's even relaxed for Shumendu. And more so because of Mamata's age and health, like it would be a miracle if BJP loses in 2036. Maybe not miracle if 29 is lost by BJP, but the real miracle would be if Mamata comes back to power, right? And other than Mamata coming back to power, there's no threat. As long as Mamata is alive or active in politics, Bengal will always be under threat. I just don't think that if Mamata retires from politics, her political capital can be transferred to people like Upasana or Abhishek. I don't think that's the case. So in the end, whatever political capital BJP is losing because of getting people from Trinamool or even the Rajya Sabha fuck up, I don't think it will matter in the end, but it just might. So why not be sure of it? And I'm sure BJP is brainstorming on this as well, not just a random guy on YouTube brainstorming on his own. But the Rajya Sabha thing was a little too hard to swallow. Yeah, we have many other stuff to get to as well. I'll just check out the comment section for a while. Most of the hawkers are back. Kon jayega no? Yeah, and a lot of people are unhappy with BJP because a lot of BJP people have also started their tolabaji as well. It's just not as violent. The amounts are probably less, or if not less, 3 people are not asking for the same amounts, etc. That streamlined tolabaji which happens in other states, that's also been restarted. But in a lot of places of Kolkata, West Bengal, it's been started by people, BJP workers who became BJP after 4th May. And there BJP has the excuse that yes, we don't have any people there, so they're kind of on their own becoming BJP. So how much can we really tell them? But there are actual BJP workers who have taken up the Tolabaji sector or area that Trinamool Gunda used to manage, and they have taken it upon themselves that they'll do Tolabaji from that area. They have simply replaced the Trinamool guy. A lot of BJP people have replaced the syndicate guy from Trinamool and is doing syndicate there. And they think it's going to go on, or it's fine, nobody's going to tell them anything. I have it on guaranteed verified sources that Bhupendra Yadav, Sunil Bansal, those kinds of people of that stature are sending their men in Bengal, and they are going to go on the ground level without anybody finding out who the fuck they are. And they are going to be in your neighborhoods. They are going to be in your districts, hanging out in the tea stalls. And there will be Bengalis, non-Bengalis. And they will ask around, what's the political scenario like? Is BJP doing tolabazi? And if so, who is doing it? And then he will find out that BJP guy who is doing the tolabaji, who is he giving the first cut to in his senior positions, his superiors. And all that info is going to Delhi. Okay, BJP bros. I know no BJP tolabaj probably checks out my channel. But if you know someone, okay, if you're asking for a friend, tell them hell is about to come down heavily on them. If someone gets through, if someone is not found out from this procedure, well, what can you do? A lot of people are going to get found out, and then it's going to be very bad for you, because you are a BJP guy, you were in this party for 20 years and stuff, and then that party is going to get angry with you for doing tolabaji. Who will save you? You will not even be a POW. Lucifer, good question. One of our key topics today. Will Sonam Wangchuk prove to be the Anna Hazare for BJP 2020? No. Deep State deeply wants it. That's the last thing they're betting on, because I think they have given up on Rahul Gandhi, but it's not happening. And only because this playbook is 15-20 years too late. Like, have you seen the protests? During Anna Hazare's protest, I was in college back then, so I was absolutely enthused by it. I'm not saying the reason I'm not enthused today is or that's proof that therefore this is a bad protest and that was a good protest. No, I am 10 years older. That's why I'm not convinced by this. But the organic support, the comparison between the organic support of these two events is not remotely close, guys. And the early 90s kids will know what a tsunami that was. This is not that. There is almost no organic or support or crowd support. It's just a bunch of kids pissed off who have the time enough to do this, and a bunch of left-wing student organizations who are at the protests. Whenever you are not seeing a flag and thinking this is an organic protest going on, 5 minutes later, that guy's probably picking up his flag. He had probably kept that flag somewhere else down and was having a chai. There is no protest going on. This is completely irrelevant bullshit for only kids who are online and want to be active in politics or have a voice in politics and all. But especially in Bengal, I know these people have forever been 99% quiet on anything Trinamool has done because they were legitimately, understandably scared out of their balls. And they're not scared out of their balls to protest against BJP, which is a good thing, that it shows that BJP is way better on free speech than Mamata. But BJP is also kind of therefore not that bothered because they know there's no support, and what are these kids really going to do to us? Like, if you were really into shit, if you were really into things that could affect the Indian state with capital S, that those 4 lions on the Stambha, or Amit Shah or BJP, then you would be fearing that what if something like Umar Khalid happens to me? Since you don't play in those leagues and in those levels, you are basically a kid in Dunning-Kruger effect. You don't even know what the fuck you are supposed to know. You are chilling there. The state is letting you chill there. There is no threat here because India by large has moved on from the idea of a lateral entity, rando, outsider to politics who will finally save us. That shit worked in Ukraine. That worked for Trump, kind of. That worked for Yunus. That is going around working in many countries. That's not going to work today in India because of a bunch of things. First and foremost is because of this awareness that the Indian right wing / the forever nationalists / hawks in the Indian state or in the Indian intelligentsia who were sidelined, who never got to say these things, who have created this awareness of how vulnerable India is and how this is how deep states operate, etc. Find one comedian, one peace advocate, and he's your president, and then everything will be fine forever. So nobody is buying that this professional protester is now all of a sudden giving up on food because he's that bothered about NEET. Yeah, this is what you call 2 + 2 = dinosaur, guys. He has been protesting and going into fasting and stuff for many other issues. This is just his latest cool toy to play with. And the thing that bothers me most about running this channel is getting proven wrong 10 years later, 20 years later, and knowing that I was on the wrong side of history. So I am saying this after thinking about it 20 times, 30 times, that am I actually laughing at a genuine patriot nationalist who genuinely wants good of the people and is therefore fasting unto death, or is at least threatening to, because he wants changes in India's education system or better paper setting security, etc. Unfortunately, guys, I cannot ignore the patterns and fingerprints of the deep state. You can say I am brainwashed enough, and I just hope I'm not proven wrong 20 years later and we find out that, holy shit, Sonam Wangchuk actually passed away out of that hunger strike because he just wanted Dharmendra Pradhan to resign. Fuck. But how can I ignore what I already see? How can I ignore that Sonam Wangchuk was protesting for something or the other forever? How can I ignore that Yunus and that Ukraine guy has happened? That this is the playbook. When you can't flip elections, when you can't manipulate elections, get someone else who will be the patra for all the sacred things in the country and all the protests and anger of the frustrations of the country. You bottle all that up in this guy and make him the PM. It clearly shows that trajectory clearly gives that vibe. How can I ignore these hints? If you are a commie, just tell me what is your argument. If you are a right winger, please tell me what would be the commie steel man here. How can I trust? I was about to say Funsu Pangru, Sonam Wangchuk for this. God, yeah, bye. I was about to choke to death before someone does a hunger strike. All his friends are treating it like open Tinder hit. Bro, the best love happens during revolutions. Don't you have any commie young friends? What kind of life do you lead? Do you only read Manusmriti and hate Shudras all day? You fucking Hindutvadis. You all don't know how to have fun. Why is Wangchuk fasting in CJP and not his own protest, knowing Umar Khalid and Yasin Malik's sympathy? Here to learn, it's called solidarity. It's something you didn't find out in your right-wing brainwashing class, you see. They are just men of the people who are standing by each other and collating their resources. That they address the barabari of ABVP. Sorry, God Empire. I'm not aware of ABVP's barabari. And trust me, if I knew any of their barabaris, I would talk about it. Because I'm talking about their elder bros. I'm not sure of the ABVP barabari. Let me go through what the barabari-ish things I've noticed. I'm just not sure they are ABVP actions. That's all. That you can't put up pictures of your gods on the outer wall of your house. That protest was probably done by some those Sangh affiliate kind of organizations like Bajrang Dal or somebody else. I just don't know who exactly did it. But sometimes BJP is getting abused for it. Sometimes Bajrang Dal is getting abused for it. And whoever's getting abused for it, if it's not BJP, I believe that's their playbook. They are happy to get abused and go about their cause anyway. But that was not an ABVP thing. Can anybody chat গুলো পড়ো ওপরে পড়তে পারছি না, এতগুলো কমেন্ট মিস করে যাবো। তুমি আবার এক্সাম্পল গুলো দিয়ে দাও, কোনো চাপ নেই। I'm hoping that he's going to give me more ABVP bad behavior examples, or just not. He's saying barabari. Barabari means just going a little overboard with some things. CPM shop neta jantar mantore chole. Okay, one moment. Sorry guys, okay, I'll keep talking. Please opore chatta poro amar opor ekটু opore দাদা address the barabari কত opore বাড়াদুর. I want NSF to replace ABVP. Yeah, I would not be unhappy with that. একটা রোগ না যেতে যেতে আরেকটা রোগ। এই সেদিন কলকাতা গেছিলাম কাজে, মালগুলো ডাবল রাইডিং ট্রিপল রাইডিং উইদাউট হেলমেট। Oh, that's tough. Acha, ABVP. Now, how do you know they are ABVP people? Like, did they have an ABVP? I'm not denying that it might be some Hindutvadi or the other, or some Trinamool guy with a saffron uttariya, but scarf. How did you know that was ABVP guys doing it, or unless it was in your college campus? Do you see BJP winning 2029 comfortably then? Right now, how the situation stands, they should win comfortably. But some tough things can happen between now and 2029, and I'm guessing that the deep state or all our enemies are able enough to do that. At least they are able enough to competent enough to put BJP in a soup, so it won't be easy by the time 2029 comes in, but they will win. The real tough shit will be 34. If they lose 29, it has to be with somebody. Wait one moment. Here to learn is saying skin doctor says Pradhan and Gadkari should exchange ministries. Guys, what is the situation with E20? Is this another classic case of us random right-leaning people having to give an apologia for BJP, saying that, see, their communication mechanism is so bad that we have to communicate for them, and say that, okay, I guess the only justification for this retarded urgency for ethanol is that we need to lower our dependency on Strait of Hormuz, Middle East, etc. Right? Come out and say that. Why won't you say it? And let's not pretend this isn't borderline fascism. This is borderline fascism. This is not fascism. This is exactly what you call borderline fascism or flirting with fascism. Ungli kar rahe, thoda chhu ke dekh rahe. Fascism, fascism, fascism. So because imagine you were a BJP supporter or a BJP guy, and Congress is in power, and Congress puts your car at risk, or the best case scenario you get a confirmation on is that yes, you are getting less mileage. What would be your reaction? You would not have taken that lightly, and it's being shoved your throat, shoved down your fucking throat completely without any grievance redressal. So the urgency is mysterious, because a state, a government that's afraid to do many things simply because of being weak and simply because of feasibility, opposition reactions, etc. How do they completely lose all their political feasibility arguments when it comes to some specific things mysteriously? Okay, you pro-reservation people and anti-capitalist people from the right wing who keep telling people like us that don't ask for this is not feasible, don't ask for this won't happen in India in 1000 years. How is by E20 getting shoved everyone's throats without any give in the arguments? करना है तो करना है, आज ही घुसा गाड़ में E20. कैसे हो रहा है ये? Either there is some huge desperate corruption thing that's lurking around the heads of these people, for which they have been given a timeline that you have to do it E20 by this time, or I'm exposing you. Or they know some insanely bad shit is going to happen very soon and we need to go into E20 right now. Which is it? If Gadkari's DS asset by if he was a DS asset, wouldn't he have made it more, less obvious? Crazy war and closure of Suez, E20 petrol, Gadkari. I have some graphs and detailing regarding E20. It's not as straightforward. I know the cars aren't damaging, but ultimately there is lesser mileage, right? And less mileage forcibly on a car with petrol that's not suiting the car means that car's age or how long it would have run, that practically got decreased, right? So you are going to have to buy a car 5 years early because Gadkari forced you to shove E20 down it. That's insane shit. Bengalis don't give a damn about it, yes, because our car's petrol is the least of our problems. It has been the least of our problems for a long time right now. We don't give a fuck. We don't give a Bengalis probably won't give a shit if Gadkari asks people to switch to 95 octane petrol compulsorily. Dada, we care for development and shit. Dada, do you think we have made Hindutva mainstream, baseline normal korte perechi? In some sections of the urban youth, yes. Because there was no section of the urban youth who remotely wanted anything to do with Hindutva 5 years back. That has changed. That doesn't mean mainstream. What do you think is happening to global order? If I make an educated guess on that and my education is provided by Gadkari's urgency, then some bad thing is going to happen very soon. Dada, do you think we have made... yeah. Bengal should now get at least 2 cabinet ministers. In Delhi, we have not had a cabinet minister for 12 years. I don't know. Why did Shanmoy Banerjee, out of the blue, again make a video about Sanjeev Sanyal becoming the finance minister of West Bengal now in the coming few months? Is someone from Bengal going to the center? Is Dharmendra Pradhan getting then replaced by Swapan Dasgupta? What the fuck? Is that possible? का हमरे सपने सच होंगे? Is that what is going on? Because Sharma was saying that usually he always has credible info. Just yesterday he made a video saying that uh, that Sanjeev Sanyal again might be contesting from Nandigram to win and become the finance minister of Bengal. And Swapan Dasgupta was the stopgap. He maybe handled these things all for these few months. It was an 8-month budget. I don't know. On the Wangru part, I don't care if if his intentions are good. Anyone who promotes self-harm as a form of protest is not only stupid but also self-defeating. Depends on the topic of the protest. Because if the state is not listening to you, at some point that would be the best option. Does your team have any plans to capture any para club and convert them to libertarianism? How does that work? Para club people, that's that would just be, at best, what I would be able to achieve with that is convincing them of the arguments of libertarianism. After that, what? Unless you are saying that that should be the goal, that go club to club and convince them. Yeah, well, that. Yeah, but ethanol modifies the octane number, not purely an age issue. No. Section 226 may on the dollar say, but a bad faith actor can risk his life like this. What does Wangchuk want? I have to observe the patterns. Hindutva mainstream not yet, but most Hindutvas are using crypto techniques of being dhurandhars in the society, working towards normalization. Mileage drops with high octane petrol also, depending on your engine and powertrain configure. Rudvik, let's say it's a super bike for which it's compulsory to have 95 octane petrol. Its mileage will go down if it uses normal petrol or even 91 octane petrol, right? On the other hand, if I put 95 octane petrol in let's say Bajaj Vespa and stuff, or any 100cc bike, then what happens? Then does its engine go completely out of order? Does it burst, or its mileage goes down? Bro, Arvind said 2030 Rahul Gandhi will be the PM, so it's pointless to discuss. Shayan, where's Shayan's comment? Oh yeah, will the government pull off Ken Betwa river project successfully? I hope commies and NGOs can't do shit. Yes, if their funding is looked after, then yes. Yes, that's what I wanted to comment on. The other thing, some local tribal news related small handles were covering it. Then I saw, after I posted on community tab, 2-3 hours later I saw that Times of India also covered it. I'm not saying Times of India saw my post and then covered it. I'm saying that they also did it a few hours later. But the sad part is, let me just show you all what's going on. So these are the protests. It's in Madhya Pradesh. There's some river linking project going on, which it's going to displace a few tribals, and they are saying no to it because development is an evil Western style capitalist project which forces people into Maoism. So they are protesting this. Oh, it's a farmer protest or a tribal protest? It's both. So whatever commie buzzword you can think of. So the protest is that they are pretending to die because metaphorically they are being killed simply by uprooting them from that place. And yes, I am sure they came up with this idea of this frankly very cool idea of a particular way of doing a protest completely on their own, without any help from our Funsukwangu funders. But let's just check out what the project is. This is the project. India's first river interlinking project transfers water from the Ken River to the Betwa River. Acha, Betwa, it's a place in Madhya Pradesh. So the place in Bengal called Bethua or Bethua Dahori, are those words same? Or am I giving Australia Australia vibes? Both rivers are tributaries of the Yamuna, designed to reduce water scarcity in the Bundelkhand region. Why would the government reduce water scarcity? Can you not see the clear fingerprints of Adam Smith in this evil project, huh? Reducing water scarcity. Can you believe it? Where would we be if it was not the Maoists saving us from a lack of water scarcity? We need water scarcity. Water scarcity is good because when there is no water scarcity, what if a rich guy who has 3, 4 water bottles and he fills it up, and because there's no water scarcity, he ends up having 4 bottles of water, whereas you poor fucker who did not get water for 5,000 years, then you were far removed from society forcibly, you went to a jungle to live and not very happily, and you right now have 1 bottle, and then you can fill up only 1 bottle of water. Then you see that scarcity of water, which was creating this beautiful community of equally thirsty people, is now gone forever. That beautiful, dry desert fucking land is now colonized by the Indian state, which is thrusting down a lack of scarcity, water scarcity down their throats. Can you believe that? For 5,000 years, in the next 5,000 years, I have not done cocaine, guys. For the next 5,000 years, they are going to be forced to drink water. How can we accept this? Anyway, there was no point in getting into impossible podcast mode, but this fucking anti-development comic cajoling bullshit really pisses me off, and I don't want an SC/ST case against me. That's why I'm taking the route of humor. Okay, fuck this. Cactus ho tum. Culture of walking for kilometers by indigenous women. Ah, what a beautiful sight. I can imagine the beautiful hand-drawn paintings at the hands of some elite wine-drinking, shari-loving Delhiite socialite in New Delhi, looking at that beautiful hand-drawn painting, which probably cost her 5 lakh rupees, of that indigenous woman carrying a pot on her head and walking 15 kilometers for water. Because after all, she still has not lost her rights to her Jal Jungle Zameen, guys. The 20 issue will maybe even split the BJP. I do think Tehsin Punawala will make a party soon, and he has big ambitions. Tehsin, Shashi, yeah, all of them. That would be fun and very dangerous for BJP. Ludwig, let me tell you why I'm not thinking on this particular issue or any new party topic from the ideological standpoint, from any ideological standpoint. Okay, I just believe no matter how legitimate or how absolutely fucking insane your reason for grievance against BJP today, the only way you will come up with a legitimate political party, which means you will have legitimate amounts of funding, is going to happen with the support of deep state. And that is a game you do not want to play today. At least not while Amit Shah is alive. Don't play that game. I'm suggesting to anybody who wants to start their own fucking parties, please join BJP or Congress and hijack the conversation inside the party. Occupy BJP, occupy Congress. Do not fuck with the Indian state at this juncture in history. Didn't Adani replant stuff in I don't know what you're talking about. Winnie the Pooh is saying GDP of India is equal to Adani's net worth. Elon Musk's GDP is more than West Bengal's GDP. Elon Musk's net worth. Once you understand this equation in economics, you have understood everything in economics. Oh, I love this argument. Don't we all love arguments where if you don't agree with someone on just one point, you have not understood anything of that topic. And once you have understood that one thing, or you have agreed with someone on that one thing, you have mastered that topic, guys. That's how a discipline runs, you know. You know what's taught at economics classes in PhD courses? India's GDP number and Adani's GDP number. That is what you need to know. Don't go to a good economics tuition classes. Don't look at hours of open course MIT, Yale economics lectures. Just Google India's GDP and Adani's net worth, guys. That's all you need to know. Thank you for coming to my talk. Now fuck off. Oh, all minor parties are always anyway. They should it more consensually. বাংলাদেশে আবার ছাত্র আন্দোলন বাংলাদেশের ছাত্র আন্দোলন আমাদের সকাল উঠে বাথরুমে যাওয়ার মতো। There's a protest going on in Bangladesh, guys. It's very big. I hear freedom is right around the corner. They're going to get a freedom day, Independence Day again. India does not have any good economic institutions because they also don't know the connection between India's GDP and Adani's net worth, you know. GDP is not equal to net worth. India's net worth might be around 12-30 trillion. My belief is over-consolidation in the central BJP has become a big problem. It was always going to be a big problem. And I believe that Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, Shubhendu, these people and these sorts of people have realized we can't save the country and party at once. We will have to prioritize our success as our meaning them. I'm thinking from their POV, they are saying probably in their heads that we need to ensure our success as individuals at any fucking cost so that we can do the good things for the country as well as for our family members. I do believe a lot of BJP top functionary families are fattening up. Call that corruption or access farming or access hoarding, whatever. It can be all of those three things at the same time as well. But I think Amit Shah BJP also know that by centralizing so much of BJP, having only your guys everywhere in BJP, even in not in RSS, even all across BJP, you have centralized the party beyond recognition, and you therefore have irreversibly damaged the party mechanism. These things can never be reversed, guys. These things don't happen. The longer Amit Shah, Modi, this era of BJP stays in power, the worse it is for BJP as a party. If they go out of power in 29, BJP has 10 years to weed out all the centralizing forces, nonsense, or the bad outcomes that have come inside the party because of centralization. They have 10 years to fix that. They will be having a gala time in 2034 again, and they'll probably have safeguards to not let anybody be that powerful enough to fuck with the party again. But if BJP wins 29-34, BJP is very fucked after Modi and Amit Shah retire from politics. Okay, so the full comment was, so ministers like Gadkari don't care, they have no chance of promotion. Pretty much. Now, what bills are you expecting to get passed in the monsoon? Sorry, Rising, I do not follow that aspect of politics. I almost have a tough time following any detailed day-to-day politics. It's just so lowly. But it's a lot of fun. And you get to make shallow content based on it. So I should be doing it more, but let's see. But I'll keep that stuff for my properly short podcasts and stuff. Please tell us your predictions on US versus Iran war. Is it still going on? It's done, right? Taslima coming back on 1st August. Will jihadis riot? That's why I said that Kolkata is becoming the bastion of saying no to religious fundamentalism. And I think Asad Noor is coming, and Taslima is coming as well, and it will be completely peaceful. What English-educated upper middle class commies have not realized is something that the poor Muslim class of Bengal has realized. Don't mess with the wrong marine. Not in 2026. What happens with Annamalai? He'll probably be given funds by BJP to start another party. Why do you keep shaving your mustache? Do a French beard, dude. Bro, I love beards. I can't grow them. My beard game ends here. If I could, I would have a full beard. I love beards. And I love mustaches with beard. The only thing I can't stand is just a mustache and no beard. I think only Nagarjuna looks good in that. I don't like the look of anybody with just mustache and no. Oh, I like Nidja and Sir Ashutosh Mukherjee's stuff as well. But if I want to wait for that long, I mean, just the mustache alone would take me about 2 years probably if I want to have that Nidja slash Ashutosh Mukherjee mustache. Okay, that's like this. Your lips will be invisible. It will all be just a mustache here, you know. But um, so in the end, if I have to negotiate with myself and have the beard some way, and I don't like a mustache without a beard anyway, I'm going with my metalhead goatee. I look good with Rajput style mustache. Yeah, that kind of fell out of fashion in Kolkata in general. Uh, in most Bhadralok Bengali families, you will not see a guy with just mustache. You will either see stubble, beard with mustache, or you will see clean shaven. Just mustache and no beard looks very uncool by Bengali Bhadralok tastes, and I include myself in them. The sexiest men have nice mustaches too. वो सेक्सी मैन तुमको मुबारक किस बारे में चर्चा हो रही है all the things in the title and my mustache as well. Kolkata has low testosterone. I don't have that issue. Okay, how many push-ups can you do? Bring back Bhadralok culture. And how many Trinamuls have you defeated? Bring back Bhadralok culture. Aega Nandish. I'm not at liberty to divulge some of the stuff we are planning, the events, the guests, etc. But not only Bhadralok culture today would end up meaning Hindutva 2.0, but all of that is on track. That I think the fact that commies and CJP have targeted Pradhan so much, they have made sure that he won't be thrown out. BJP don't want to be seen as bowing to CJP protests. Yeah, they're very screwed with that. So ultimately what they're going to probably do is call it a routine cabinet reshuffle and get rid of him that way. Who is Taslima Nasreen? Taslima Nasreen is a household name in Bangladesh and West Bengal for standing up to Islamic fundamentalists in her country and writing countless books against them. Then she came to live in Kolkata as an on exile, and then under Jyotibasu or Buddha Bhattacharya, under Buddha Bhattacharya, I think. She was made to leave the country and go live in Sweden for all these years because Muslims of Kolkata, Bengal, West Bengal would not have it or take that lying down at all. See, few days back, there was a Shyama Prasad Mukherjee roundtable in presidency, which happened with zero protests. Okay, in the same way, yes, there was a lot of protests and threats and stuff, and a lot of people would not have taken things lying down if Taslima Nasreen went on living in Kolkata. But again, you will see that event also happening in Kolkata with zero protests. That Vivek Srivastava. I used to get angry while listening to lib lefts, particularly Bengali ones, but now I deliberately was for entertainment. I am addicted to leftists and liberals and their talking points because it's just so nice to be in their hen house and listening to their arguments. I'm absolutely addicted to Mehdi Hassan's arguments. It's so much fun because he's kind of the best they have, the general masses. So if you have a gist of Mehdi Hassan's argument, you have a gist of all commie arguments and you can think of them. And you may even end up having some, dare I say, agreements with Mehdi. Because who knows, enemy stuff, or simply some facts that you are wrong on. It might happen. Always assume the person you're talking to or arguing with knows something you don't. I always do assume that. And I was worried that I'll probably turn into a leftist again because I'm listening to so much Mehdi Hassan. Then I saw that I'm only going on appreciating his technique, skill, his body language, his vibe, how comfortable he is, how fucking fearless he is in every room in front of everybody. But every argument he's giving, all the counter arguments are going on in my mind. So I'm pretty relaxed with myself on this issue. But it's also so much fun to know all the commie arguments by heart. Recently started reading Amish Tripathi again, 2021 ka Nasha yaad aa gaya. PTSD. Currently reading War of Lanka. Nice. Live stream on Balaji Srinivasan? What do you mean, Arpit? You mean a live stream just discussing that man? No, we can do some live streams, live reactions of some of his podcasts, which we have done already. We have reacted to his discussion with BR Biceps. Mehdi is Paki at heart. No, he's many things at heart. He's a commie, he's a liberal, he's a Paki, and he's well funded by Qatar. No, he would probably sue me for this, but he works at a at a newspaper house or a news portal which is funded by the Qatar government. So that Qatar government money will probably make some things out of you that you are not. Incentives just work, guys. I can't bear to watch Mehdi. Boils my blood just looking at. Bro, Aritrajit, trust me on this. The best thing that you can do for yourself if you do consider yourself that way, that you are a part of the online intellectual Kshatriya community, the organic intellectual Kshatriya community of Indian patriots and stuff, take this opportunity, because a lot of the stuff is kind of done where day-to-day casual commentators or intellectual Kshatriyas like yourself don't have to get into anymore, because there are countless content creators covering that stuff. Okay, इतिहास में ये पढ़ाया नहीं गया, वो पढ़ाया नहीं गया, देखो मोदी भगवान है, देखो मोदी भोसड़ी वाला है. All that stuff is going on with millions of podcasts, and they are getting millions of views. All of them are lakpatis and crorpatis. Therefore, why don't we move on to the next era of where the debate is going? Okay, always follow where the puck is going, and the puck is going where Mehdi Hasan is. So don't bother yourself only with the debates of today. Think of what's going to happen when you are face to face with more credible, more well-spoken, more well-educated, more well-respected, more well-fucking funded commies in front of you. For that, please get hooked on to Mehdi. I remember him getting schooled by HNs. I don't care about that. I think Indians can wipe the floor with Mehdi. Rudvik. The Westerners don't have his kryptonites assembled or committed to. If by Indian you mean Vivek Ramaswamy, then yes. How was your DRDO tour? Is UP land of Aryavarta finally healing? Hilone mein time lagega, ye pata chala. But I did not tour DRDO. I toured UP State Institute of Forensic Sciences. It's under the UP state government. And we were supposed to tour the Ashok Leyland factory. वो cancel हो गया पोस्टी के. I posted about that only. That got cancelled. टाइम नहीं मिला, टाइम कोऑर्डिनेट हो नहीं पाया था, बहुत लोग थे हमारे. तो यूपी भाई, जैसे कि देखो लखनऊ में हम जहाँ पे रह रहे थे, वो जगह का नाम है सुशांत नगरी या सुशांत गोल्फ सिटी, ये नाम है जगह का. It's a 5-star hotel we are living in. We heard that few days before us, Virat Kohli came to visit Lucknow and lived in that hotel. And at 2 or 3 in the night, I'm discussing with some friends, should we go to hang out somewhere or maybe get a little not sober? And some of them who are in the know of things say, "Bhai, kya bol raha hai, abhi mat ja," or don't even roam about too much. And that's something I always do whenever I go to a new place. There are 2 or 3 fixed things I always do. Okay, I always go on random walks around the hotel, in the neighborhoods, get an actual vibe of the place, the speaking tones of the place, how people interact amongst each other. I just hope they don't bother me, and people usually don't, because there's another thing I do while traveling in cabs or randomly walking around. I always listen to local music in local language from either my phone loudspeaker or my Bluetooth speaker. If I'm in a cab or when I'm walking, I just keep on listening to it. And since I listen to music from all over the country, I have stock of good music from every state. So every time I'm in a random neighborhood and I'm a random guy looking somewhere between a Kerala Muslim and a Bengali metalhead, nobody really bothers me that much, because they hear me listening to their local songs, so they think this is some weird looking local guy. But I was actually stopped by my well-wishers in Lucknow from going around hanging out in that part of town at a time when we are being told that at least योगी ने बोला है तो माफिया राज मिट्टी में मिला देंगे, but we kind of already believe that मिट्टी में मिल गया है ना, जो लोग नहीं रहते यूपी में, द फैक्ट दैट मिट्टी में मिला नहीं है अभी तक, वो मुझे रियलाइज हुआ, और वो अच्छी बात नहीं है कि भाई इतना गांड जो मारा गया है इन लोगों का, इसके बाद भी मिट्टी में अभी तक नहीं मिला है। तो अभी बहुत प्रॉब्लम है, देर है, अभी भी और भी वेट करना पड़ेगा। यूपी इज हीलिंग देयरफॉर, या इट्स बिगन, it's, let's say UP had a big accident and two of its legs got amputated and it was facing gangrene. It's about to get euthanized. That's when Yogi the doctor comes in and starts treating the patient. What he has been able to achieve right now is control the infection for 5-6 days with some antibiotics. Let's see if he stops the antibiotics and the infection comes back or not. The next conversation starts after that. Hinduism is illiterate Persians trying to pronounce Sindhu. वाह वाह, कितने उच्चे विचार हैं आपके. One stupid university there banned meat on campus. So 2 more generations for UP to heal. एक तो लगेंगे, 2 शायद नहीं, क्योंकि एक्सपोनेंशियल आजकल इंप्रूवमेंट हो सकता है अगर टेक्नोलॉजी कैपिटलिज्म को अपनाया जाए प्रॉपर्ली. Like Rito Trinamool and Mritu Trinamool will have the left front split into BHAM. What party? চোলাই, আরে বাড়া কারা এরা, কি সব নাম আর কি ভাষা এগুলো. AOC type woke liberals led by Dipshita. Yes, at all. And the other faction led by Mina. Oh no, এত faction হচ্ছে না ভাই, ও বাল ভিখারি, 2 টাকার শাক তার আবার ক্যাশ মেমো. But the problem is, yeah, the best thing that these CPIM kids, that they could do for themselves is renaming themselves into the Labour Party of India instead of Communist. If they call themselves Labour Party, then we are more fucked. With them calling themselves communist and all, we are set for the next 10 years to counter them on bunch of commie metrics. If they stop saying we are communists, we are the Communist Party of India, we want to set up communism in India through parliamentary democracy, whatever the fuck that means, they will get and keep getting entangled in directionless debates. They will hit dead wall after dead wall, dead end after dead end. But we will have to keep that up as well. My college is like 2 kilometers away from Sushant Golf City and Ekana Stadium, Ram Manohar Lohia Medical College. अच्छा. तो अर्पित गुगलानी, तो बोलो हम लोगों को कि क्राइम का सीन अभी कैसा है वो जगह पे. By Indians I mean Vivek Tulsi. If in अरे, I thought by Indians you meant no, some other kind of people. So many UP and Bihar kids are in Bengaluru working and learning the culture. Do you think when they go back they'll bring change, or is it dependent on the elites? Nandish, there's a huge IQ gap between people who stay back in a state because they could not get any opportunity outside versus the people who do move out of the state or the country because they got an opportunity. And our NRIs or our Bengaluru bros, whoever wants to return to India or their home state, the story will be the same. First of all, they won't be able to handle the corruption, even if that is handled by some miracle or by simply that particular person being powerful enough to not have to go through hassles of corruption because he's that close with the CM and stuff. The second big gap that they have to face is the IQ drop. They have to work with absolute retards who are retards only in comparison to them. That stuff is really hard. That stuff is really hard to live, that kind of a life, being forced to work with retards. Not many people will like it. When will Bengal be so relevant that Bengal is equal to very big part of India in many fields and we diminish diminishing Angluland to irrelevancy is not happening anytime soon because all the big players are involved. We are putting up a good fight, but your other part of the question, when will Bengal be that relevant? We could have had it much sooner and faster, but with the speed we are... No. God Empire, let me give you this. There are certain things that are going to happen in Bengal from the Bengali intelligentsia, right-wing intelligentsia, right-leaning, right adjacent intelligentsia side. Let me see what's the reaction of the rest of the country's left-wing, right-wing to these phenomenons and events. Okay. Based on that, I will be able to tell you. You won't need to wait 10 years for that answer. Wait 6 months for this. In the next 6 months, you will get the answer whether Bengal is making a quantum leap in at least in narrative and discourse and importance and relevance and stuff, or it's going to be as proportional as our economic development as well. We need more cities in West Bengal solves any problem. That's going to happen. It's contained. The local underbelly keeps poking its head once in a while. It's way better than pre 2017 era. अच्छा वो तो होना ही है. वही जो वे बेटर है, वही उस चीज को ही हम लोग सोच रहे थे कि हैंडल हो गया है, मगर इतना ही बड़ा था प्रॉब्लम कि भोसरी के हैंडल होके भी ऐसा है कि रात को मत निकलो. The things actually improved on smaller cities where things were very bad. Yeah. Lucknow, by and large, never had Gunda problem being a capital. It's the other cities always. So, asking a Lucknowite about overall UP. Siddharth, first, I was asking about Lucknow, the Sushant Golf City area. That's where I got told to not roam about in the night. Okay. Then my question is even more relevant, that if in Lucknow I'm having this conversation, then think of what's happening outright. And I was asking him to comment on Lucknow only, not entire UP. Did you read about Mitsubishi going to invest in West Bengal? Yes. Bengalis are naturally talented, so probably they will once they share the lingering TMC come influence. Interesting. We do that anyway. Will Tollywood operate like a real business and startup now? Swarup? Not according to my info. Some more technicians got banned, so there are lobbies, inter-lobby warfares, inter-loyalty warfares, inter-political party lobbies. Like somebody today is hated for being part of Swarup's team back then. Somebody is hated now for being Swarup's part back then, but being in BJP today. Somebody has old grievances for not being in Swarup's team that at that point of time, but today is trying to harass somebody who was in Swarup's team that time. And there are multiple lobbies on each front. There are lobbies inside these lobbies. So the creativity and production chokehold bottleneck that was created by Trinamool artificially out of your run-of-the-mill commie ideas, that dire of a situation is now gone in Tollywood. But it's BJP has not done what I had expected. Taposh Roy clearly told me in my podcast, as if I'm pretending to be a disappointed little kid. Oh, why did Taposh Roy lie to me? No, I am more mature than that, guys. But Swarup means Swarup Biswas. He was a guy running Tollywood for Trinamool. But yes, Taposh Roy had told me in my podcast that when I asked him, what will you do? He's the industries minister, by the way. Before the elections, I did a podcast with him. I asked him point blank, what will you all do about Tollywood? How will you all solve the problems there? And he said, why will we solve any problems there? We are politicians. We will do politics. They are artists. They will do art. And I laughed and I smiled, the biggest libertarian smile that my face could muster. Javier Milei got an erection sitting in Argentina, hearing that through telepathy. Milton Friedman wanted to come out of the grave and suck Taposh Roy's dick. And then what BJP is doing today in Tollywood is a lot better than Trinamool. But if you really want Bengal's art and culture to thrive, stop with this now. Will SVF monopoly over capital break? It's already broken a lot. A lot of good movies or significant name people are doing movies that are not that are done by like new production houses and stuff. All of that will probably still be distributed through SVF because they are still the big dogs in distribution. but making production, that part they have allowed other people to come in. SVF monopoly. Yeah, I was going to say that monopoly se yaad aaya. I heard Adani Power is coming to Kolkata, so there's going to be some fun competition and Randinona from a bunch of capitalists on that front. Probably, I wanted Ambani to come as well. There would be proper competition then in Kolkata's power supply game. But it's just going to be. It was just Goenka's up until now. Now it's going to be Goenka and Adani apparently. So I guess prices will go down, or mysteriously Goenka had a sit down with Shubhendu already. So who knows what shenanigans they have planned. Have you heard about the protest by farmers in Bidadi or Bidadi? Are bhai, hey Kannadigas. Oh, is there any way to find out which D is R and which D is actually the or the? I am picking up some of the songs. I'm trying to do a cover of Usire from Saptasagar Adache Yellow side B. Oh my god, it's so tough to remember which is R. So some of the L's are R, some of the D's are R, and some of the D's are the, some of the D's are da as well, right? Holy shit, how am I supposed to understand that from English lyrics? Kannada lyrics written in English script. So Bidadi, Karnataka, because the or Bidadi, Karnataka, because the state government wants to build an AI city. Government officers were chased away with brooms. So will Karnataka see Singur 2.0? No, it's Congress in power, so they are not going to do a Singur against themselves. But if when BJP comes to power, then yes. But not enough with that. See, everyone in the country learned their lesson when Buddhadev Bhattacharya screwed up Shingur. Okay? Keep that in mind. Do you think other states' chief ministers are as opposed to development as CPIM? No, right? Then, do you think other chief ministers of the state or the potential chief ministers, people who had their careers planned out and knew that 10 years later I'm going to try to become the chief minister, etc. 15 years later, 20 years later, do you think all those people were sitting the fuck down and ignoring what was happening in Bengal? And they were not noting things down there. This is where Buddhadev screwed up. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Oh shit, no, I'm not going to do that as well. Okay, this is where I must do better. All of that has been done by all the chief ministers today in West Bengal, in India, who have seen and closely observed the Shingur issue. So they are going to handle, every chief minister today is going to handle a Shingur-like situation better than Buddhadev Bhattacharya. I think Kannada interchangeably uses do and ra, yes, and L as well. Bidari situation is softened when our women beat the officials' cars with brooms. Won't UGC, ethanol, etc. affect? Yogi will be affected no matter what. Yogi's time is tough. তাপস রায়কে বলো না এই আইডিয়াটা about NRI Bengalis forming a VC investing in new age Bangla movie. Those things, first of all, it's not going to look nice if it comes from me, because it will look like I'm trying to get some of anybody I know in Tollywood funded. Secondly, it's unfair to ask any NRI investor today to fund any Tollywood known face because of their track record of making horse shit. But NRI है तो कुछ भी लड़ा $1 million लगा देंगे यहाँ पे, ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता है. And thirdly, there is a discourse surrounding what you are suggesting, but except for funding a Bangla movie. So if they are doing it for everything else, then someday it might trickle down to Bangla movie as well. भैया कल नेटफ्लिक्स पर एक मूवी देखा, डिटेक्टिव ब्योमकेश बख्शी. क्या मूवी थी, इतना खतरनाक क्लाइमैक्स था विद सीक्वल जो अब कभी नहीं आएगा. कल्ट क्लासिक वेस्टेड फॉर यू. शरदिंदु, what a great writer, guys. Goenka should be punished for ruining the whole Mohan Bagan ecosystem. Yeah, I'm sure that's the only thing. TMC people who switch to BJP, will they get tickets in 29 or 31? Bhai, I would have thought absolutely not. Why would you? What have they done for you to this extent? But if these 3 Rajya Sabha people are getting a Rajya Sabha nomination again just for having quit after Trinamool lost, then who knows what rewards await these people. But I'm not sure what. See, they might be given a leeway to feel safe and stuff. but they have no political capital. Most of these people have had never had a political capital. Most of them have zero ground support. Whatever their own support they had built, it was only because of Mamata, and all of that today doesn't exist. So even if they get MP seats, or at least they get to contest, nothing's going to happen. Nothing is going to come out of it. Did you know that in 2009, 2010, right before Bengal elections, NCFC had private investment was highest in the and private NCFC and private investment was highest in the past 40 years. Of course, Buddhadev Bhattacharya, McKinsey report, WBIDC report with ICICI. That was their plan. Why do you think that was fucked? Who do you think fucked it? Who funded it? It's the same fingerprints again. अच्छा डेवलपमेंट करेगा भोसरी के बांग्लादेश के पास बैठा है रुक भेजता हूं किसी को I think Vijay has not learned lessons from Buddhadev. He has cancelled the plan. Of course, he has not learned any lesson. He was not that guy. He was not thinking of becoming CM. He just, I think, got randomly recruited now from some BJP Hindu state kind of, BJP deep state kind of, political deep state kind of person from inside India's political system who told him, go elections. We can't do anything through BJP or Annamalai here. You go fuck shit up. Disrupt some stuff. We will pick up the relevant pieces later on. तुम्हें सनीमा बना बे. Furthermore, Rajiv Malhotra sir की books कब पढ़ेंगे? You would definitely love his Breaking India books. Why don't I ever get to reading Rajiv Malhotra? क्योंकि एक तो ड्यू का इशू है, बहुत सारे बढ़िया बुक्स ड्यू है अभी. I don't say this point too explicitly too much, but I know 99% of my viewers are huge fans of Rajiv Malhotra, and I have nothing against him, but I have found some of his arguments to be very easily refutable by commies. I only will read books by those right-wingers whom I have seen make watertight arguments for most of their public careers. There I include Sanjay Dixit, Ranganathan, Sanjeev Sanyal, Desai Deepak, etc. All four of them have at some point in their careers made weakish arguments, but in general they are pretty watertight. But the mistakes that Rajiv Malhotra makes, and since उनका ना बेन है ये भोसरी का रेस्पेक्ट, उनको since he started this game so early on, people respect him so much, he gets no pushback. Sanjeev Sanyal, Desai Deepak, Anand Ranganathan, they get pushbacks. और मतलब राइट विंगर्स से भी kind of pushbacks, if not pushbacks directly, they do observe how right wingers are making different kinds of arguments and they pick up on those. Rajiv Malhotra's arguments are very old. A lot of his presumptions on commie perspectives are not correct, not accurate. And the problem is Rajiv Malhotra making some arguments that can be easily refuted by commies is not the same thing as similar mistakes being made by Sanjay Dixit, Desai Deepak, Sanjeev Sanyal, etc. Because at what stage of the argument is Sanjay Dixit, Sanjeev Sanyal, etc. making those mistakes versus Rajiv Malhotra? Rajiv Malhotra makes them, I have noticed. I can't remember the examples or instances off the top of my head, but some of his premises, which will be very easily refuted by commies, he makes those arguments and key flaws at particular stages of the debate where the commie will not take him seriously for the rest of the debate. He doesn't have to. For that, I avoid learning his arguments. He's a very well-meaning guy, of course, but he has not been pressure tested enough. And without pressure testing, your arguments get weakened. And the only pressure testing he could have had is from a guy who won't debate him because he doesn't have the credentials. Yangre. Invite NSF to your podcast. Ask them how are they different from ABVP, other right-wingers. God Empire, if you are friends with the NSF guys, tell them my door is always open for a podcast, but also ask them why did they fire a guy from their folds, kick them out of the party just for criticizing yellow taxis of Kolkata and saying that it's a disrespect to Kolkata's culture. get that answer from them, and but even if you don't get that answer from them, they are free to come to my podcast. Seen this play so often out. I guess in case of Rajiv Malhotra, not videos, read his books, Breaking India and Being Different. Maybe it'll change your POV. Breaking India is the only book I have read to some extent, and that's one of his weaker books. Being Different, though, I think the way some people have said but specific things about being different, I have huge faith on Being Different being a very solid book. But Breaking India is not very strong. And I'm talking on levels, okay? Like Breaking India, Rajiv Malhotra, these are these are competent enough to destroy most commies of the country, not the top dogs. Top dogs would eat Breaking India alive. Some of the premises in that book. Temple reclaiming in West Bengal. Will we get Bengali Vishnu Shankar Jain? We have a Bengali Vishnu Shankar Jain. He is right now pursuing some other stuff. That stuff will happen. It's bound to happen. The Sangh affiliated organizations are not going to forget it. By the way, if you did, how was my review of Hindutva I sent? 30 घंटे पढ़ के लिखा था. नहीं. कब भेजा हर्ष? Sanjay Dixit on Twitter is a leaky part, and especially now. Twitter पे छोड़ दो. I'm talking about Sanjay Dixit of 2029, 2020. No. Let's say 2020 onwards, like early Sanjay Dixit, early Jaipur dialogue stuff. Hiranmay Maharaj, he's not a lawyer. He'll do the activism and stuff. Talk more about intellectual Kshatriya. What practices should be followed if one aspires to become one? You don't aspire to become an intellectual Kshatriya. I mean, every right-wing intellectual can be called an intellectual Kshatriya in that sense. But what I was asking of you is the stuff you are giving me the vibe that you already do. You take part in comment section discussions and stuff. So there, the conversation can move on now. And especially if you know those arguments, if you are 5 years old in that argument already, you move on to other stuff. You don't have to go around saying, no, see, do you know Muslim kings were bad? Do you know it was not taught to us in our childhood? Leave that fight for for the next generation. Mental অন্য কারো হাতে দিয়ে তুমি এগিয়ে যাও জীবনে কারণ that's easy stuff, low hanging stuff, and anybody can do it. Lots of people are doing it. 28 या 29 को मई को भेजा था इंस्टा पर. ठीक है, I'll check. ना कीबोर्ड वॉरियर स्टफ इज बैड. भाई कीबोर्ड वॉरियर स्टफ के बिना कहाँ होता राइट विंग का डिस्कोर्स. What's the point? Dada, talk about men's commission bill, and is it true that BNS removed the only hope for male rape victims? I am not sure about the second part of the question. I don't know what has happened on that topic. But men's commission bill, obviously, I would absolutely prefer that there are no specific women's commission bills or men's commission bill. But if we are going to swallow the pill of socialism and government funding for every problem, then, and based on that, if the women's commission is going to stay here, then yes, we need a men's commission. Okay, WhatsApp community link, that's only for Vanguard members, and Vanguard members are not allowed to be anonymous. If you are ready to not be anonymous, then you are welcome, and you have to agree with us on the basic stuff, because we debate stuff there, but we can't debate each and everything. Then we can have a Vanguard with commies also, right? So we need some filters. I have not had a smoke in this entire live stream. Holy shit. Okay. Where did the comments go? No, talk about men's commission. Not a great fan of Rajiv Malhotra because you are an elitist. Maybe like me. Rajiv Malhotra was the first ever I heard, and using terms like intellectual Kshatriya Sanatan Sharma. वाह ऋत्विक. ब्राह्मणिकल पेट्रियार्की सुप्रीमेसिज्म इतना पहुंच गया है कि सनातन धर्म को रिप्लेस करके सनातन शर्मा बना दिया. ये है चाल देखो ब्राह्मणों की. ये इन लोगों ने 5000 साल. अच्छा, anyway, ऋत्विक, but exactly that is the point, that since Rajiv Malhotra is the absolute seemingly OG, because I am new to this world anyway, I'm getting the vibe that Rajiv Malhotra is seemingly an OG. Obviously, if we ignore the Sitaram Goel era, those people just never got any recognition. But when recognition first started coming in for being a right winger, for even having certain right wing views, Rajiv Malhotra was probably the first guy doing those rounds and almost contributing and funding out of his own fucking pocket to make sure that this movement happens, etc. He's an OG in every sense. But that's just a problem with pioneers. Pioneers never have the best of arguments in anything because they didn't face the updated problems. People after that have faced more updated problems and challenges, so they have more updated weapons and arguments, etc. Rajiv Malhotra has for most of his political speaking, influencing life, not been directly challenged by commies enough, and when it's coincidentally being the absolute retarded ones, that linguistic professor. I know a bit of Sanskrit, I know a bit of Urdu, I know a bit of Hindi. And other than that, people have just ignored him for not being from their fold, from being from their caste of social scientists, etc. And I'm sympathetic to this view completely because I have similar views about Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro, who are the OGs for me, turning me from a commie to a right winger. Okay. And I have many disagreements with their views as well. And I see that a lot of it is simply because they were just too early to it. They don't have the updated arguments. Like Ben Shapiro is he's torpedoing his career on the Israel issue, right? Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he just likes Israel that much. Jordan Peterson fucking torpedoed his career just because he wanted to go on defending Christian theology. उस चक्कर में जॉर्डन पीटरसन ने इतना बढ़िया, इतने लोगों के क्रिश्चियन, नॉन क्रिश्चियन, कॉमी, एथिस्ट, लिबरल का जिंदगी बदलाया है उस आदमी ने. फिर डेली वायर का पैसा खा के क्रिश्चियनिटी डिफेंड करने के चक्कर में पूरे लौड़ा लगा दिया अपने करियर का. तो आई एब्सोल्युटली अंडरस्टैंड दैट he was the first, and just like these people are the first for me as well, when I first heard so many terms and insane counter arguments which made so much sense that holy shit, obviously commies are wrong on this. But now I see, what the fuck are you saying, man? So a lot of that that situation is very similar to Rajiv Malhotra's as well. How to become Vanguard? I'll tell you some other day. I've explained this many times. Or check out a video called Vanguard. I have done a live stream called CSK Vanguard. You're probably right. During the launch of Snakes in the Ganga, he himself says Breaking India had many flaws which he fixed in later recent books. And the problem is, Harsh Ravi, जानते हो क्या है? कि उनका सबसे popular पुस्तक, even among commies ना, I mean, in comic circles, he's known for two things. One is Breaking India, and the other is him saying that next life your bank account will show up the money you saved up in this life, etc. And that is why he's radioactive for me as a guy who wants to convince other people, because I have seen that Breaking India book in at least one of my commie voracious readers' house. And if he thinks that, okay, I've read Breaking India, that's the entirety of the right-wing intellectual Kshatriyaism or Rajiv Malhotra, so fuck these guys. I completely understand. So I wish that book wasn't that popular, but it is. So it's time to move on from him. Will be expensive and ineffective in non-conflict. By the way, ethanol blending makes things cheaper, especially at a village petrol bunk where you don't have the speed or high-octane petrol. This is a conflict economy, to be fair. ये हमको भाई सरकार क्यों समझा नहीं रही है? CSK Vanguard live discussion. No, it was from before the elections, 2 to 3 months back. I know that bank account controversy, just want to forget it. Yes, forget Breaking India as well. Unbreaking India is a much fucking better book by Sanjay Dixit, which was kind of an extension or building upon Breaking India, or going to say like, meaning to say like, okay, I understand that Mr. Malhotra gave all these points on how India might be broken up. I'm just giving India a way to not break up. And then Sanjay Dixit wrote Unbreaking India and ended up writing the most readable book I have ever read in my life. By readability, I mean just how easy it is to go through, flip through the pages and completely grasp everything. I do not know how the fuck this guy has managed it. He's a retired IAS and he's a law graduate as well, marine engineering graduate as well. तो भाई बुक ऐसा लिखा है, ट्रेन में चलते चलते, बस में चलते चलते, कहीं पे भी कुछ भी आसपास आवाज सुनते सुनते, गाना सुनते सुनते तुम कैजुअली पढ़ सकते हो, सब कुछ इंटरनलाइज कर लोगे, बुक पूरा दिमाग में बैठ जाएगा. तो you have better examples. Like this is what Desai Deepak said in Kolkata, by the way. Do you remember? No, I think he said it in the post-event dinner party hangout with us. I don't remember where he said it. Or he was probably saying it. I'm just name dropping and boasting here, guys, but he might have said it to me on the car journey back to his hotel. Desai Deepak was saying that he has been advised by somebody that on how to talk about greats from yesteryears, about whom people legitimately have a lot of emotions attached, but you are in a position where you must condemn or criticize an aspect of that man, but you also don't want to pointlessly piss off a bunch of people, and you probably don't hate that guy, but you are just pointing out some flaws of this guy. So why create such a ruckus out of that issue? Instead, just appreciate the other people more who maybe didn't have that particular flaw. So in that way, I'm saying, let's not discuss how or why Rajiv Malhotra is bad. Let's just spend our time discussing people who are just better at this than Rajiv Malhotra, even while fully acknowledging that he is a pioneer in this. দুটো ভিডিও দেখতে পাচ্ছি 143, ওই দুটোর মধ্যে কোন একটা হবে. Thumbnail was about CSK Vanguard only, that this is CSK Vanguard, একটা sort of introduction এর মতো করে বোঝানো আছে পুরোটা, সেটা থাম্বনেলও CSK Vanguardই আছে, সেইটা হবে. Jordan Peterson violated his 10th rule of life like nobody could. Oh my god, what was his 10th rule? Let me see. My left hand typing is so fucking slow. Rule 10. Be precise in your speech. Okay, what's the next comment? One moment. দুটোতেই CSK Vanguard বলে লেখা আছে, দুটোই থাম্বনেলে. Okay, then just okay, I'll tell you a little later. Jordan Peterson yawn. What are your thoughts on the government banning the Sarabjit film? It gave it unnecessary recognition. The movie is well made, but without the attention, it probably would have come and gone unnoticed. You probably mean Satlaj, right? Not Sarabjit, right? And again, I'm just not educated on this at all. I have no clue what the Satlaj movie is on. Oh, yeah, I found out today. I saw commies complaining about it. It's on how many encountered killings / fake encountered killings that the government did during the Khalistani crackdowns, right? I think Al Jazeera was saying this. Yeah, I found it from Al Jazeera's caption. That's the issue, right? So BJP wasn't even in power. Bhosri ke kahe ban kiya ye? That is just the issue, right? So I think तब तो बैन किया so that people find out more के कांग्रेस ने भी कितने fake encounters किए थे. I think this has been deliberately done by the government. Fifth rule violated him. Okay, fuck this. What's the fifth rule now? I don't remember the numbers. Do not let your children ish. 377 amended decriminalized consensual homosexuality, but not non-consensual homosexuality. So it was only hope for male rape victims. Criminal not charged of rape, but non-convicted homos. PNS removed it fully. So right now it's legal to rape men. What? I am sure they have some other plans. What? No. 37. It was only hope for not non-consensual homosexuality. Criminal not charged of rape, but non-consensual. So what's the consequence now? Please write it in correct English once. The other ethanol being cheap, BJP petrol ministry and IS have been doing it so retardedly that the mechanism doesn't survive or hold the test if measured during normal economy. तो हम और कितना अपोलॉजी दे के नहीं देखो फैशिस्ट नहीं है, ऐसे ही तुम्हारे गाड़ी का गार्ड नहीं मार रहा है, कुछ कारण है पीछे, तुम थोड़ा पढ़ के आओ. ये थोड़ी बोलते बीजेपी लोग अगर कांग्रेस ये करता. Does it even matter? Like men would report rape or the it's I think needed for the future, Stickle Mako. If we get into an era where men do speak out about these things, especially, for the prisons is important, right? Dada, are you a Conor McGregor fan? What's your opinion? This was not an upset. Conor is not in his fighting skills, ability at all for a long time. I knew absolutely, was sure Holloway was going to defeat him. I'm not a fan as in I'm not his I'm obviously a fan of his antics and his personality. In the world of MMA, I'm more into the Khabib and GSP style. Khabib is my favorite. Khabib and GSP, both those two. Gender neutrality is a joke. What elect me in future? I'll teach these feminazis nice lesson. No, you won't. Everyone has the same constraints once they get to the top. Okay, I missed a lot of comments. Wait. পিসি লাইভ স্ট্রিম দেখলে আমার আজকাল হেভি মস্তি লাগে yes that was another topic as well. Mamata did another live stream today discussing Madan Mitra's ouster, but Madan Mitra, God bless his heart, he has been going on a fucking rampage against Abhishek and Mamata since this evening, because of which I was 5 minutes late to the live stream. He is going on a tirade, and since he is kind of more well spoken and well read, he just never had too much political ambition. He was happy to stay in Mamata's shadow, never wanted to be the CM and stuff. He was happy with his colorful life, non-sober things, etc. That's why he never put his skills to actual use, bro. That guy has brains. That guy actually can speak well. He never let Bengalis even know that. So now, even when he's not drunk, he sounds completely drunk, because that's how frequently he gets drunk. Today he's speaking in front of the camera half drunk, and is going on a 100 times more coherent and well fleshed out tirade against Abhishek and Mamata than any of the other fuckers in the Trinamool anti-Mamata faction have been since 4th May. So I'm enjoying the tirade. On the other hand, I hate people when they do this Kakuli Ghosh Dosidar and Madan Mitra thing of mentioning what family they come from. If it's some like actually historic family like Sanjeev Sanyal, then maybe yes. Like if my grandfather was Gopal Patha, I would bring it up once in a while, But there's these अच्छे घर का लड़का and अच्छे घर, अच्छी family in every neighborhood, which gets that acha tag for 2-3 generation back, some significant Bengali having lived there, existed there, or being from that family, or simply being hosts to some legendary Bengali. Okay, so when that elite of Bengali dies away, withers away, goes away, their sons and their grandsons in the Madan Mitra generation and even later generations, they are the ones who just make use of that family name and nothing else. Like he goes on saying that there used to be a 3-person hangout in his place, between whom Madan Mitra's grandfather, who was the first Indian chief engineer, Sir Ashutosh Mukherjee, and Sir Biren Mukherjee. Those 3 were buddies. Therefore, take Madan Mitra seriously. 2 + 2 = dinosaur again, guys. My question is to the people in his neighborhood and in his constituency: why were you respecting Madan Mitra extra for who his grandfather hung out with? A bhukto bhosri walo. So Kakoli Ghosh Dosidar said the same thing. Not for any historical figure being in their family. He says, do you know who you are speaking to Ognimitra Paul before 4th May on a live debate? Why? Because everybody in her family is a doctor and a PhD. ऐसे लोगों को इन चीजों के वजह से सर पे बिठाना बंद करो, और बिठाओ भी तो ऐसे चेक्स एंड बैलेंसेस रखो कि वो तुम्हारा सपोर्ट किसी और जगह पे बेच के खा ना पाए. I've always felt that the Indian right wing works in silos. Would you be interested in bringing Anupam? Ghumta Aina. I have heard the name. I have not heard of Anupam Mishra. Let me just see. I might have met this guy in one of the D3 events. Oh, this guy, this guy. Oh, yeah, I like this guy. He's a nice journalist, right? I have seen him host a lot of people, yeah, Sanjay Dixit and stuff. Yeah, I would be very open to hosting him. I just feel too lazy to invite unknown people for podcast, guys. That's absolutely my bane. I can't do that. That just is too boring. Please, sir, come on my podcast and see my podcast is good enough. And I have really low views. And even if you come, there will probably be 1,000 views at best. But please come anyway, because you see people like Swapan Das Gupta, Sanjeev Sanyal have come here. That making that pitch is very insulting and not very fruitful for the guest even. So I only am doing podcasts with people with whom I'm being introduced by someone else, because if someone else vouches for me, that go on that guy's podcast, he has an educated audience. That's the only way I'm doing it, because then I don't have to go on explaining my credentials, or even the lack of credentials, and explaining why I don't have viewers, etc. Because it's a legitimate thing to expect to come on somebody's podcast, taking out time from your own schedule, and then you get 500 views. What the fuck is the point? um so if you talk to him and get us connected, great. Can you summarize today's discussion? No, it would take another 2 hours to summarize. A lot of Sikhs get brainwashed by SGPC propaganda, and cannot see how they recovered, to be honest. Yes. Festered this for so long, the narrative and revisions to Granths and Gurbani show Islam to be close. Yeah. Please read my comments, they are important. এটা তো সবারই দাবি। সব দাবি কি মানা যায়? Yes, it's legal to rape men now and forever. See recent Punjab case, he could complain only of. How can it be forever? You mean if a new law doesn't come up? But what is going on? John Jones. I have nothing against John Jones. His fighting style is phenomenal, but he shouldn't have taken that stuff so many times. Even without that stuff, he's just a Khabib of another era. He's a GSP of another era. I'm only being era biased to not say that John Jones is my favorite. The ease with which he has achieved all those things. I'll track using OSINT and the online activities of feminazis and blackface them to their employers and target. Fair enough. Whatever organization you target, how do you know they are not tied up to some of your donors? খেলা দেখবে 12:30 থেকে? না, ফাইনালসই দেখবো একবার। Picogram, no, you mean pictogram, I guess. Please read my comments. A lot of Sikhs. I've always felt that the Indian right wing works in would you be interested in bringing no problem, Mishra? It's mostly separatists crying. Wait, what are the comments? Of course he speaks well. How do you think he became one of the biggest players? Yeah, true. But on the other hand, Vivek also speaks well. He focuses on just having one wife and 3 children. অনুব্রত কি বলেছে একটু আগে, আজ সেটাও দেখো। আবার কি বললো? Let me just see. Jailed because of Abhishek. Abhishek is worse than ED. Oh, yeah, pretty similar to what Madan Mitra has said as well. Because at one point, Shuman, they asked him that, why didn't you say these things when you were in Trinamool? He said, how could I say Abhishek would send me to jail or send someone after me? And it's not like it's complete mumbo jumbo for joining or getting into Shuvendu's good books now. We know the Naroda thing did happen. It's them only, that batch of Trinamool leaders. So it's not completely wrong. End day, help me join CSK Vanguard. Today's agenda done then. Yeah, so the way to join Vanguard. My email ID is indiconsciousness@gmail.com. Send your Aadhaar card picture there. Block some of the numbers if you want. I just have them with me so that if someday there's a spy, betrayer, etc. in our group and I get into legal troubles, I at least can cooperate with the police, saying that, see this guy, this is his Aadhaar card, catch him if you want. Secondly, the rough agreement you'll have to have with us is that capitalism, libertarianism, free market, more or less, we can discuss degrees, free markets, freedom of speech तो एक ही तरह का होता है, but these are goals. These are at least your goals. They at least must happen according to you. The question of when, how fast, shoving things down people's throats if required, or taking the patience route, that stuff is debatable, but not what we agree on. And yeah, pretty much. But also, you see, how is this different from any other Hindutvadi, right? Many well-meaning Hindutvadis who also want to put their time into things like this, they're probably they will actually do agree with us on a lot of stuff, but their framing, their thinking patterns, their because of their surroundings is such that their slogans, their goals are all either hollow, pointless, or they will actually be worse off and put the Hindu society in a worse off situation 50 years later. Um, because what I'm trying to address is, if you were to ask me, why not Hindu causes, why this libertarianism, free market, etc., because ultimately these things help us only, first and foremost, because we are the least coddled by the state and most educated per capita. The state becoming less relevant means proportionately our success goes up. So in the end, then you could argue that I am also starting another pro-Hindu group only, but with more specific, more directed, more precise problems, diagnosis, and solutions, recommendations, goals, plans, etc. On the other hand, if you are a guy who just says ambiguous and grammatically meaningless things like Hindu Rashtra, or you want Hindu Rashtra, that's what you want to start a group for, and you want to discuss how to do Hindu Rashtra. Actually, how to do Hindu Rashtra might be an actually legitimate discussion, but all the other stuff is just cool sentences and slogans. They don't mean anything at all, conceptually speaking. If you are that kind, I would love to have you on the channel contributing in our discussions, but there's no point having you in the group. Mail chatter. Yes, I will. It's the usual spellings, okay? Indic spelled the usual way, consciousness spelled the usual way. Or wait, please. Indic consciousness. This mic and mic stand is very big, guys. My keyboard is not fitting here. Indic consciousness at gmail.com. My normal keyboard was actually really nice and small, the cheap, usual desktop keyboards you get. But my world famous AI scientist friend Shayok Paul gifted me this gaming keyboard, which has made my problems actually more because it's so giant, and there's so much key spaces in between that my typing speed, all sorts of computer work speed actually went down because of working on a gaming keyboard, because there are lights that you are supposed to see and have fun that are between the keys. Therefore, they can't afford to have the keys absolutely side by side like in lame 2000 rupee keyboards, but they actually make me work faster. That's a sad reality. I got this beautiful gift from a friend, but it's actually affecting my work. Exactly. When Tableen of people despite Pakistan. In 2012, attempt was made to criminalize male rape. Big feminist organization, people who fought against gender neutral laws viciously, so it was cancelled. Big names like AIDWA and be called pseudo feminist. Why were they fighting against male rape, or fighting against having a law against male rape? Every other week, right-wing channels will do one video on Urdu Wood, one on Congress, one on Kejru. Yeah, and I don't blame them because they have a dependable business model on just these topics. No, so you can't be a revolutionary every day and come up with new critiques. Then you'll have a fucking viewership like me, and you can't depend on this kind of money to run your family and stuff. Mechanical keyboards are gadgets twist. Okay. Strongly recommend as guests who would be more than willing. Anupam Mishra, Major Samarpal Tur, haven't heard of him. Rajiv Shukla, I've heard of him. Rami ma'am, once again, have to blow up. You deserve it. Yeah, they are not going to come probably. Unless somebody introduces me to them, and even if they do, they're not going to get any views because again the algorithm will completely fuck it up because the usual audience of mine is not remotely similar to the usual audience of them, except being against Congress and stuff. So my channel's algorithm is going to have a tough time bringing that audience here, and they are not going to have any views from my channel. You can't be qualified if you don't win your local municipal elections. See how our finance minister was running from Shaka to Shaka, Mandal to Mandal since he was 16. Who are you talking about? You can't be qualified if you don't win your local municipal elections. See how our finance minister was running from Shaka to Shaka. Oh, okay. Sir Chasm and Madam Chasms. আধার সে শুধু নাম আর গার্ডিয়ান নেম দিলে হবে তো? It has to be recognizably an Aadhaar card so that the police can find you if required. Address লাগবে না, DOB নাম্বার দিচ্ছ না, কয়েকটা লেটার কয়েকটা নাম্বার ব্ল্যাক করে পাঠিয়ে দাও, ঢেকে পাঠিয়ে দাও। Rape is not a general crime, it's instrument of patriarchy. Oh, আচ্ছা। It's good to be honest, I'll expose my shame. তাসলিমা নাসরিনকে নিয়ে বিজেপির অবস্থান সেটা নিয়ে যদি কিছু বলতে, also if you could expose the commies in this point as well. Oh yeah, this is a master stroke. This is awesome stuff. This is the stuff that BJP doesn't do, and this is the stuff that's so important. It's this subtle, nonchalant, casual way of going about your right-wing things. That is exactly what is required repeatedly for every action. Explain करना जब होगा तब explain करेंगे, explanations ready भी रखेंगे. राइट विंग आइदर एक्सप्लेनेशंस दिए जाता है या फिर एक्सप्लेनेशंस के लिए तैयार ही नहीं होता है. यहाँ पे ऐसे ही किया है कि या you all don't want Taslima Nasrin to live here, we don't really care anymore, she's going to come here and do an event discussing the topics which made her run away from Kolkata and Bangladesh 20 years back. And we don't care who's saying what, we don't care who's even bothered at this point. And they know if commies now go against this, they are way more exposed, they are fucked. On the other hand, to rub insult to injury, to rub salt in their wounds, Asad Noor is also coming. This is insane. This is insane. And I tell you, BJP should promote this so much more. Bengal BJP, I don't think it's BJP bringing them, might be some other right-leaning literature type of organization, but this is such a good move that they should have made a big hullabaloo out of it. They should have gotten more people who have been victims of religious extremism and stuff and made a big deal out of it. This is not a big deal event. It's becoming a big deal event because it's just Taslima, but it would have been fun to make an even bigger statement. But then we are complaining about anything and everything. Why isn't it better? But this is really nice stuff. This gives such a nice message that yeah, we'll go about our way. It's a casual thing. Yeah, like Mamata said, why did you go to Muslim neighborhoods to celebrate your Ram Navami? This is you saying, bro, last I checked, the entire country is a Hindu neighborhood. So we are going to have Taslima Nasreen speak anywhere the fuck we want. And all the explanations I'm giving, the organizers themselves haven't even given, which makes it even better. This is perfect chef's kiss stuff. In fact, Bangla Sphere এটা শুননেই চলে এলাম where she is exposing Pranab Mukherjee to Sunil Ganguly. Bangla Sphere এসছে নাকি তাসলিমা নাসরিন? Holy shit. আচ্ছা, রাজ সামানির পডকাস্টে ডক্টর অভিষেক ব্যানার্জি. ডক্টর অভিষেক ব্যানার্জি? Wait, which Abhishek Banerjee? Wait. You did mention it once before, no? Let me see, who was this guy? Dr. Abhishek Banerjee, Raj Shamani. Oh, you mean Abhijit Banerjee? Arey bara. Shit, bro. I forgot about it. Thanks for reminding me. I would have done it today only. This was a nice day to do it. I'm not free anymore. Yeah. So tomorrow I'm not free, right? Tomorrow I have a dinner invitation. Tomorrow first half I can do. Tomorrow evening, no, I have dinner. Day after tomorrow, I'll be in a whole day event being organized. No, Smart is just one of the sponsors for that event. So Saturday, Sunday, probably I'll be doing an English podcast with Joydeep Da, who's the lawyer who is suing Parambrata Shostika, with whom I've already done a Bengali podcast. It's just not been edited yet. So Saturday or Sunday, Saturday evening, I'll have to go to the doctor. Sunday evening, we are probably doing this. Keep reminding me from time to time. Kal Rath Jatra. Acha. Tomorrow, okay, I'm at home. Cool. এবিভিপি বাড়াবাড়ি বিদ্যাসাগর কলেজে খুব নরম হুমকি ইউনিয়ন কলেজে যোগ না দিলে কোনো সুযোগ সুবিধা পাবো না তুমি বলতে মিয়া বিদ্যাসাগর কলেজ good that you are pointing this out and can you give us names as well abvp like is it post 4th May abvp or is it old abvp and if it is old abvp please talk about it in many places with your anonymous accounts so that the people who are getting deployed by senior BJP to find out about this hot shit, it comes to their timeline algorithm as well. Just repeat this sentence in many places, in many conversations, discourses, in the Facebook and Twitter profiles, handles of many people, comment sections, etc. Okay. That see that we like BJP or ABVP. I have been in ABVP myself, but why is ABVP in this particular college doing particular this bad action? Talk about it, make a ruckus about it. No, if you make a ruckus about it, you might get screwed, but at least make some noise about it so that it's loud enough to reach the distant ears. It will reach. How does talisman speak about Hinduism? I don't know about talisman. Dada, this reminds me of what happened when those dipshits in MP managed to dishearten Avas Malda here. He वो भाई अलग लेवल का फकअप था. That's incredible what happened there. ये हर देश के सिर्फ और सिर्फ राइट विंग में ही पॉसिबल है. ये किसी भी देश के राइट विंग में पॉसिबल है, मगर ये सिर्फ राइट विंग में ही पॉसिबल है. This is insane. No, I really need. I don't need. I will have a very bad thing that you all must never try. Okay, smoking is for pussies. Smoking is very bad. It causes cancer. Smoking is injurious to health. Do not smoke. I don't know which ABVP. I just got an audio from one of my fresher friend. Fair enough. Ask him more about it. Ask him to find out. Do not take these things lying down. Do not shut up about it. Keep being loud about it. Because 5 years later, 10 years later, BJP might not be this BJP, and BJP, I mean, even today's most humblest of all the well-meaning of all, a lot of their minds will probably turn more evil in the next 5-10 years because of all the money and adoration and respect and people, everybody falling at their feet, taking their ashirwad and stuff. That changes people. So at that point, who knows, it might be again TMC 2.0, and if you talk about these things, you'll probably disappear. So speak now when it's going to affect, or let's say get the due attention the most. The chances for that are right fucking now. Do not take these things lying down right now. That's what our intellectual ancestors and Bengal's ancestors did in 2011. Everybody completely shut off their brains, eyes, ears, everything. कि ममता कर रही है, कुछ सोच समझ के ही किया होगा. चलो अच्छा, एटलीस्ट तो 34 years का सीपीएम को हराया है, तो ये थोड़ा बहुत स्क्रू अप हो ही सकता है. एंड आउट ऑफ द ब्लू एंड one thing leads to another, and suddenly you wake up 15 years later saying that, oh, see, Abhishek fucked the state and the party. But why not invite Anuradha and Chandrachud Ghosh, you mean? Yeah, they probably know me. But since I'm not confirmed and we're not in contact, I would have to send that kind of an email to them, but it would not be from that childish position. So if I get to writing that mail and find his email ID, then yeah, it can be manageable. But I'm still waiting that somebody might just introduce us in some event, and I'll have him on then only. And just so that I can escape the pain of that mail that, yes sir, I don't have views, please come on my podcast. But I like them so much, and in 2013. That's 5 years before I was even an economic right winger. That's since then. That's how long I have been following Anuj Dhar, and I know his arguments inside out, and I'm convinced. I don't know how can anybody say Gumnami Baba was not Netaji. I know Major G.D. Bakshi comes up with his stuff every now and then, but the commies who oppose it, Shugato Bosu, it's too hard to ignore. Thought of it after the freebies discussion, pulled out the data. Shank Bhattacharya said ABVP is not their student wing and they are not responsible for ABVP. Of course, they are not. ABVP is RSS student wing, right? And I have on good authority that there's a lot of things that ABVP does that in fact in which RSS does not interfere. They are not supposed to interfere. That's their just red lines. It's a declared position that they won't interfere. Excuse me. Similarly, there are things in RSS that ABVP is not supposed to interfere in. In politics, everyone becomes chor thake dakat and the cycle continues. It just happens lesser and slower and to a lesser degree in other places. In socialist situations, it's more because in socialist societies, your dependency on the politician is more. And Voltaire to Spider-Man got it wrong when they said, with great powers comes great responsibilities. Actually, with great responsibilities comes great power. And you give all the power to a politician, sooner or later, you will be sodomized by him, metaphorically. And if it happens literally, he's not going to jail because of the reasons pointed out by Here to Learn. Ram Ram Rishabh. Okay, then I'm supposed to make a call. I will take your leave now. This was a good live stream. After a long time, I did it alone. Sir is killed a sitting chief minister, sitting prime minister, ex-army CDS, tried to try their level best to kill KPS Gill. Yeah. No idea. I've never been interested in Taslima's arguments. I've never read anything by her. I just know what she's about, what her shtick and spiel is. My hunch is, even if she has those standard atheist commie views about Hinduism, if she's your run-of-the-mill atheist who hates Islam, Hinduism, Judaism, religion, Christianity, everything equally, even if she is that, she won't say those things too much right now. She will be grateful. Or at least, I mean, no one is going to be grateful for getting someone from Sweden to come settle in Kolkata. They'll probably be more pissed off. They will probably say, oh, no. I hate Hinduism more because you are making me settle in Kolkata instead of Sweden. What? I like it in Sweden. But at least she'll admire the people who are making this happen and therefore not speak about Hindus too much. Recently, I've been reading up on the Gilded Age. There is also a series on it. And Academic Man recommended that this is on his official recommendation list. I posted it on our community tab a few months back. You said I should raise my voice, but I am a fresher as well. They will fuck me up and I am in Gurudas College. Don't raise it in college, bro. Solve it how it's in the end going to be solved. Don't make it an ABVP versus something issue. Don't make it an ABVP's lobby war as well. You'll go nowhere because they have just too much power behind them. The only people who can help you right now, or not you, I mean, the only people who can solve this right now is BJP themselves. And so you have to make sure they get the details and the info, and as senior as possible, as Delhi BJP as possible, so that they have no stakes and skin in the games here. If you have skin in the game here, the part of your skin is ABVP. So I'm saying only social media from an anonymous account. Devil's advocate, if Netaji really returned and became Gumnami Baba, would a personality like Netaji be so nonchalant over the great fucker Nehru did post-independence? No, but he would never be able to come to the forefront because he would be tried and arrested and hanged to death for being a war criminal. Might be going to jail finally. Looks like it. That's seemingly the chief minister's goal, right? That I don't care which party you are in. Go do any party. I don't care politically anyway. Make sure the aunt and the nephew is deserted. That's all you have to do. You have one job. And everyone is doing that one job. I just read the blurb of Random Taslima book at Boimela. সব জাতি ধর্ম দেশের পুরুষ. Yeah. Okay, I'll check the mail not now. In 1 or 2 days. Okay then. Thanks a lot for coming and joining the discussion, guys. See you all soon. Bye bye. Good night. And do make sure to watch my fake debate between Dr. Thomas Sowell and Deendayal Upadhyaya. I uploaded it at a not very suitable time, which is why it's not getting many views. But I'm sure many of you all didn't even get the notification that I have put up such a video. I will share it once again on my community tab. Do watch it. It's kind of fun. How do I get to be an audience of CDC? I think you ask for passes when the events are announced. You call them up and stuff. Thanks, guys. Bye bye. Good night.
Pagare sani sa gari gama pavana mani sa ni pagare sani sa gari gama gari gari sani sani sa sani gama gari gari sani sani sa Mama pani sa gari sani pani sani mama mama pani sa gari sani mama mama pani sani sani pani sa ni pa gari sani sa gari mama gari gari sani